Hello and welcome to Fighting Fit.
And I just tossed a double left out and just boom.
When you get into coaching and you get to realise that you've got to be able to cope and deal with any different style and type.
People champ! The champ is here!
And then somebody can win with a big block of cocaine.
We find out that nobody diagnosed Tommy with HIV.
Hello and welcome to Fighting Fit. Today I'm joined by Jordan Barker Porter. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good. So your last fight was a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 5th of May in Rotherham, so first one away from home.
Yeah, so how was that?
It was good, just good to get back to winning ways. It was a shame that I had to fight the same girl, but there's not the big pool of females, so it is what it is. Change of opponents all the time, but I was pleased to fight. Just want to fight.
Well, and it was bouncing back off a defeat as well, so was it like much nerves and stuff in the build-up?
Yeah, like I always get nerves anyway, but it was more like just a little bit of self-doubt talk that I've been dealing with for the last few months, so it was just good to brush it off, get the win, and now I can push forward. So
yeah, definitely. Well, and they've just brought out the female British title as well, haven't they? So that's does that excite you?
100%. Like when I turn pro, like I think that's everyone's dream. Like it's a big thing in England. So like it will be an honour to fight for a British title, because like it's hard for the females, because like you're jumping straight up to European level. Some of them are fighting straight up to world title. Like there's no kind of in between. So it was only just recently, the beginning of the year, we had our first area title, and that was down the country. Now we've got a British title, so we're getting there. Like just work your way up slowly.
Well, it seems kind of crazy. I only realised recently that you didn't have one already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Is it the same design as the men's? Like exactly.
It looks the same. It's just got a different colour band.
Yeah, it's green.
Belt, like,
Yeah.
It's the best looking belt.
Oh, it's unreal.
But that's the problem. Like the downside of having a lot, like not as many boxers in the women's category is like there's not a lot of belts and fighters. But like now, like 1 or 2 wins catapults you to like the level, like a high level, doesn't it?
100%. Yeah.
So like you can get beat, but then 1 or 2 big wins and you're back up there. So.
But that was the crack for me. It was just about getting better winning ways this year. Take your time, because last year I kind of just rushed things a little bit. Obviously I'd had 4 fights, I was in good momentum, 4 wins. On the last one was a stoppage. I then went into SAS and just thought I could come out and get back in the ring 6 weeks later, and it just my body and mind just wasn't ready for it. So just get back to winning ways this year. 1 more fight and then I won a title. So that's how close I am.
Can't wait to get on the SAS stuff, like.
I know, I know,
the deep and dark secrets.
How did that come about then? The SAS?
You've got to apply. So I was going to apply for the previous year, but I got through the application. It's so lengthy, like takes so long, and I hadn't saved it. So when I went to then press the next page, I'd lost everything that I'd done. So I thought, you know what, like I believe in time and everything happens for a reason, all that. So I waited until last year, applied, and then I got a phone call the next day after put my application. It took us 3 days to do the application, on and off, just saving it, coming back, making sure everything was tip top. And yeah, I got called in 24 hours. So I was like, oh, I think this is promising. Like, and yeah, it wasn't that wasn't the end. So it was like another interview process. You've then got like fitness tests to get through. It was so intense just to be able to get on the show. So not like any Tom, Dick, and Harry can get on. But yeah, it was good. So got on.
So when you were applying, were you thinking of like, it would be good for my boxing career, like get my name out there, or was it like a part of you, or it was like, I just want to go on for the experience and sort of see what it's like?
A bit of both. So for the boxing side, it was more so like I could really push myself, because I like to like obviously push myself during training anyway, but I thought that could take us to the next phase in boxing, because obviously you know yourself, like in the ring you can be in a dark place. Like if someone's maybe sticking it on you a bit, like you've got to go to the trenches, and it's a little bit like this. So like taking yourself further than what you think you can actually go. And I've watched it for years, and I thought, oh, that's a bit of me. Yeah. So I just wanted to challenge myself, take myself to a place I've never been before.
Well, it's good, because I think I've watched it for years, and everyone watches it thinking, oh, no, I can do. And then you've actually put yourself out there to go on and do it. And then, because you got medically withdrawn, wasn't it? Like the day before, the last day.
Yeah.
It?
So, it was so frustrating. So it was I think it was the Saturday. I got pulled out, and like the Sunday was the last day. So like I was literally 24 hours away from it being over anyway. We'd just gone through the full cover story, because we were just about to go on the run just before that happened. So I was like begging them, like, no, please, like, I can do it. And they were just like, we can't, like, you've got it, doctor's orders final. So it's a shame, but I totally get it now, looking back, why the decision was made. Because I think if I was in a normal job Monday to Friday, it wouldn't have been an issue. But because I boxed and they knew I had a fight day coming out too, that they just couldn't take any risks. They wanted to just get straight in for a scan. And to be honest, it's only been the last couple of months I've sorted my shoulder out. So it's 6 months I struggled with the injury from getting out the jungle. So I get it.
Yeah. So how many days were you like on the actual show?
10.
10.
10 days. And then I was out there nearly a month though, because I haven't been jabbed. That anybody that hadn't been double jabbed had to go out and isolate slightly earlier than the other recruits. So I was already, I think it worked out about 11, 12 days I was in the hotel before I even got put into the jungle. And like when I'm staying in a hotel, I'm locked in a room for 23 hours of the 24 hours. So you couldn't go out and just mingle and do what you want when you want. You get your food brought to the room, you're in your room, that's pretty much it. You got like a half an hour gap to go and do a little bit of exercise, and that's it. Like a structured slot. So it was like already torture before going into the jungle.
Yeah, well, because it's very mentally challenging, isn't it? And
so,
then that's just going to make it even worse.
So that period was even tough before I even stepping foot in the jungle. So just kind of got yourself a bit prepared.
Think when you watch it though, you think like, well, surely it's not like 24/7 on the cameras all the time, like that intense. You think, oh, they must have breaks. The cameras must turn on and off, and you get to do what you want. But is it like constantly 24/7, always on camera, always doing what you're meant to do?
Oh, it's 24/7. Like, and to be honest, I've been one of them that I've thought when I've watched previous seasons, like, surely they'll get a rest or like a little rest period, like maybe smack bang in the middle, because they can't like be 24/7.
You get like 2-3 hours.
You're sleep deprived. Your food, like, honestly, everything is crazy. But it's 24/7. The cameras are on you 24 hours a day, filming you when you go for a shit, when you're eating, when you're in the dorm, when you're in the TAS. They're in your face when you're all snotty and sweaty. That's they want the gory bits. But yeah, it was so intense. Like, you come back and you don't know when you're going to get shouted again on the parade square. So like, you couldn't even sometimes have the chance to take your clothes off to let them dry a little bit, because you've got 5 minutes from when they say recruits to get on that stand. If you're not there, then obviously everyone gets punished. So it was intense, very intense.
Well, and as well, like when they give you like the beastings and stuff, it's like there's not a time limit on it. Whereas when you train normally, like boxing, you're doing rounds, you know how many reps you're doing. Whereas that, it's like they'll let you go until someone drops out.
I think that was one of the hardest things for me, was letting go, because I'm so like, everything's regimented, like structure set, and it was that letting go of not knowing what's coming or how long something's gonna last. But once you kind of just let go of that, you could relax, I would say, a little bit more. But yeah, it was tough, because like, it's like, how long is this gonna go on for? Because like you say in boxing, you know, right, 2-minute rounds, I've got a minute recovery or 30 seconds recovery. Like, it's like you don't know when this is ever gonna end. You don't know where the finish line is. So it was hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
When you knew you were going in, did you adjust your training at all to like some of the events and activities on there, or did you just go in there box and fit sort of thing? Well,
a lot of the things you don't like, obviously it's from the shows, like it's similar stuff to what they do, but there is obviously a new element and twist to stuff, so it's not always the same. So like the boxing structure's already like solid as it is. I'm already doing loads of different things, swimming, running, the boxing, like circuits, strength training, so I've already got that full kind of shabam anyway. But they did send us a schedule, like what to follow for like 2 weeks out of going in. But a lot of the stuff was stuff I was already kind of doing anyway. So I think one of the main things was just a little bit more increase on like the swimming element, because there was a lot of water. But I was already luckily a confident and strong swimmer, so
Did you have to write down, say, your fears and what you didn't like, so like they could use that against you in other episodes?
That was one of the questions.
What did you write down?
For me it was spiders. I'm absolutely petrified of spiders, and I'm talking like a little tiny dot of one.
See, I don't mind them. I put one of them out this morning, like it was in the bath, just like you shake it about so it goes get smaller, and you just chuck it away. It's when they've got like hair on, or they've got a big
tarantula.
One of them boys is really good, like.
But yeah, I mean, I've got a story. So we've just had a beasting. We're coming back up, but we had to put our bags on the roadside. Obviously, I didn't know at this point an actual tarantula's crawled on my bag, so I'm putting my bag back on. And when we're running back up the stairs to the dorm, the tarantula's then jumped from the bag on my face, and it's on my face, and obviously that's my fear. At this point, we've just been in trouble for talking, so we had to stay deadly silent. So I'm flicking it off like this. I see it land on the stairs, and obviously I can't tell the people behind us, they're unaware, and the spider's just crawling off. Mental. So from there, like, I'm probably not as scared as I was.
Well, it's like going in the jungle, and it's like you come across all your fears, and then when you get out, you're like, well, I faced them. So
yeah, I just like you have to just get on with it. Like there was
after having a massive tarantula on your face, like a little spider in the bath's not really going to bother you that much, is it?
Full on tarantula. I thought, Jesus Christ, what am I doing?
When she hasn't been looking, you've definitely put it there, like on your bag, just to like cause a scene. I reckon. I can't have just crawled under the bag. There's no way.
It's a jungle though.
Oh,
yeah.
So the way that the bags were, it's like right in the roadside was like right next to where obviously the big open trees and that are. So there were spiders all over. I mean the animals there was just absolutely crazy. Like when we first got in, they had a little bit of like a teasing situation for us. Like so we had our beds, they're like jail style bed, awful, so uncomfortable. And they had like a net thing, like so we thought, oh cushy, we can cover ourselves on the night time so we're not going to get eaten alive. They took them away day one, so it was like a little bit of like a tease to say, oh, you've got one, but you know you haven't. So we're just getting eaten alive on a night time. There's just you have to keep the doors open, so the moths, bats, everything flying around in you while you're trying to sleep. It was just constant.
Would you say the physical aspect of it, obviously, because going into there very fit and doing all the activities, do you reckon that was the easier part compared to say being in the bed, like having all them creatures on you and like not having much sleep? Do you reckon it was more mentally demanding?
100%.
Physically.
100%. I mean, it was physically tough as well. Like, yeah, obviously I train intense anyway with what I do, but there was a lot of things I did struggle with. I struggled with carrying like the burden on my back every day because that's not the type of training I'm used to.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to climb up a mountain, like it's so intense. But it was 100% the mental aspect that was the biggest struggle, because like your mind's telling you you're done, but you can't give up. Like I'm not a quitter, so you've got to keep pushing. You've just got to find energy from places you didn't even know was possible.
Was there any times where you thought of quitting? I didn't never enter your mind.
There was one time I come close where I just thought, what am I doing? Like, why am I putting myself through all of this pain? Because it was mentally and physically challenging, but it was painful at the same time. And it was, I think it was the day before I actually got medically withdrew. It might have been the day before that. So we went through like a massive beasting. No, sorry, we did, I can't remember what challenge we did. Then we come back and they made us write a letter home as though we'd died. So I'm writing a letter home to my wife and my little baby girl as though like I've passed away, I'm not coming home.
Yeah.
Obviously being so many miles away from home, it was hard because I haven't spoken to them in like a week already. So massively got in my head. They made us put it aside, and I thought, that's it, that's the end of it, we don't need to do anything with it. And then they made us, from that point, as soon as everyone had finished the pen to paper, they shouted us out and they did a massive beasting with us. Well, I was already in my head, so I thought, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm in pain here, like my body's done. And I was so close. I just thought, like, what am I doing? But then I was like, nah, you're strong, like you've got to get through this, there's only a couple of days left. And it was Billy that pulled us aside and he said, I see so much potential in you. And from that moment, it was just that one little bit of lingo that I needed. That was just the fire spark back in us. And I was like, I deserve to be here. There was like over 10,000 applicants and I got in. So I was like, I've got to push now. So it was like, I just needed that one little bit of motivation and it just got us going and pumping. And then obviously I got medically withdrew on the Saturday. But yeah, that was the closest I've come. It was on the back of writing the letter because I just got in my head. Because I was just thinking like, I just want to be home. Like at this point, Jersey was only 10-month-old, so she wasn't even 1 yet. And I was like, I'm away from home. Like I felt a little bit like selfish, like leaving her. But yeah, that was the only time.
Well, I remember watching, I think it was the season Bellew was in, and they had he got his family to record him a video call, and he went in and had the laptop there, and as soon as he saw it was them, he shut the laptop and went, I'm not watching it, because he was like, if I watch it, I'm going to want to go home.
Yeah. Well, that was the purpose of obviously why they did that. It was to kind of get in your head, and we were meant it was scheduled for us to have the FaceTime from home. But obviously, what happened is the camp had flooded before we went in, so we were a day late going in. So it was actually meant to be 12 days, and it was cut to 11 days. So I think that they obviously had to cram stuff in. So that's why we never got the FaceTimes, but they made us do the letter instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I mean, it's mad because in that moment you're so deprived of everything. Like this is, it's not real, but it felt real.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it got in my head.
Yeah. Well, and when you're saying that one of the instructor, is it is it the DS? Is that
Yeah,
what they
the
call it?
DS, yeah.
DS. Where they pulled you aside. What are you thinking of them when they're in there? You're thinking like, oh, like what a knobhead, or are they like, are they all right?
Nah, do you know what? They're all sound. Like,
Yeah.
they're there, like, to push you to your limits and try and get the best out of you. Like, everyone's in there for a reason, so, and they know that. So it's like to try and get the best version of you out of yourself and push yourself beyond what you think your limits are. So it was in that moment, like, and because he was shouting at us, and I felt like he was picking on us a bit, to be fair. And that's the clip that they showed as well. I said,
Yeah.
I think I actually said, "Oh, fuck off," or something. I was like, "Oh, great, show that clip." It was under my breath though. And then after that, like, that's when he pulled us aside and he's like, "What's going on in your head?" And I was just like, I'm struggling, like, on the back of the letter, blah blah blah. And then that's when he said, you've got so much potential in your son." I was like, wow, like, that's coming from him.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So it was big. So that was just the kick up the arse I need. But they were all mint crack. It was mint having Chris on there as well, because it was a familiar voice. He's from Sunderland originally. Yeah. So that felt like home, because I was the only one from the northeast. So everyone was mainly from south. So I felt like, obviously, I was so many miles away from home, and then everyone else was from a different area. So he felt like, oh, there's a familiar sound.
Yeah.
Foxy was good crack. He was just like dark humour all the time in moments that you needed it. So like you'd be laughing your head off. And then Rudy was just mint. Like, I know he gets slated loads, but he was just mint crack. All of them were mint, like, in different ways. So.
Well, that lad from... I always find it weird when you hear, like, a northeast accent in the telly.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It sounds rubbish.
I think it sounds really... Because as soon as you heard him, though, I was like, he's from Sunderland.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Straight away.
But I hate hearing my voice back, to be fair.
Oh, well,
I hate doing the podcast. I can't watch
like,
it.
oh,
It's
horrible.
bad.
You just cringe.
It's just cringe.
Yeah.
Like Gracie, like my little sister, always wants to put them on, and like she plays it, I'm like, you have to turn it off, because I can't sit and hear myself.
I put a scream and run out of the room, like, it's awful. It's awful. Just Northerners just don't sound good on telly, I don't think.
Yeah.
That's why we're not on most of the time. That's why it's all just Southerners, isn't it?
I've got like that Durham twang though, so mine's are like a little bit different. Everyone thinks I'm a Mackham anyway, but I'm like, I'm not. I'm from the DH postcode. I just live in Newcastle now. But I like the Geordie accent. It's just strong in it compared to like South. So a lot of people can't understand what you're even saying.
Yeah, I know. Well, people hear like the Sunderland one straight away when you're on holiday and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Newcastle." I'm like, we're not.
No, it's totally different, mate.
Then being classed as a Geordie when you're from Sunderland.
But then you'll talk for ages, and then in the end they'll be like, "So near Newcastle, pretty much Newcastle," and then you'll be like, "Yeah, just give in."
That's where everyone knows the tune.
So what was it like coming out? Like, how did you feel after, like, obviously it's a great achievement getting, like, being medically withdrew, like you didn't quit handing your armband or anything. How did it feel coming out? Did you feel a sense of achievement?
It was more of a struggle, if I'm honest. Like, it was a sense of achievement that I'd done 10 out of the 11 days and got as far as I did, but it was a struggle because, like, I'm not really one for being injured as well. Luckily, touch wood.
Yeah.
So it was a struggle dealing with that, because I knew I had an injury to deal with, and I knew I had a fight in like 6 weeks. So it was how to manage that, and like, I'm not a person to say no, and I probably shouldn't have fought. I can see that now, but it was a mental struggle, because I was like, I felt like I'd let myself down, even though it wasn't my decision to be able to come out. It was the doctors, but it was mixed emotions. It was mad. So it was just, I kind of had to just suck it up and deal with it on my own, because I didn't want to put no pressure on anyone, because I was like, I've chose to do this challenge. But it is tough when you come out and do something like that, because you've got to go for a couple of days. Like, my head just wasn't right, like my head and body. I was just like, this is weird. Even touching my phone for the first time when I come out, I was like, it's mad, like, not having a phone for 10 days, and then you're on your phone and your phone's pinging because it's been off for 10 days. You can't keep up with the notifications, so it was just a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then coming back and just chucking yourself straight back into life, because I was straight back into a camp. I didn't have no time off.
I don't know how you manage that, like, to come straight from the show straight into a fight camp.
Yeah, like, I looking back now, I can see it's stupid. Like, I don't know why I did it, but I just thought it's an opportunity. I'm on the back of like such a good buzz this year, 4 fights, blah blah blah, and I just thought, right, if I've been through that, I can get through anything. But I just hadn't allowed me mind and body to recover. I mean, some of the recruits, it took 2 weeks off before even going back and doing a normal gym session.
Yeah.
Never mind an actual boxing camp.
But
so
you probably just need your mind to sort of like
just relax, like let it just as process what's just happened. But yeah, it is what it is.
Oh well, yeah, definitely, and obviously you learn from like
the
experience like that, because it's more for like planning your camp and know when you're at your best
Mhm.
and what things
Definitely.
lead
So
to good performances.
yeah. Well, that's why this year just take me time. There's no rush. Like nobody's going anywhere. It's not like there might be a couple of girls adding to the pros, but other than that, like I know one more fight and I could be having my title shot. So for me, it's just about like timing. Timing is key, rather than trying to rush things. So obviously, you've got to remember like it's not the amateurs pro. You lucky sometimes if pro has 2 fights a year.
Yeah.
So it's just like getting used to that because like as an amateur, I had 24 fights in 20 months. It was really quick, so I was kind of like still boom boom boom, want to fight, but it's not like that. Like the camps obviously it's not, my coach doesn't like calling it a camp because we're training all the time, but it's specific for that say 6 to 8 weeks period for who you're fighting. But yeah, just take me time this year, learn my lesson.
Well, Dave, our coach is like that as well. Like if you mention like a fight camp, he'd be like fight camp, like you should be doing all the time. Like doesn't like the words and stuff. But so like as your amateur, because I remember you boxing at Lambton Street as an amateur. Was that only 20 months that you were boxing for?
20 months.
See, that's
crazy.
That is ridiculous.
Like, we've been at it since 9, 10, 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Like to think how long we've been in the sport, we don't know. Like we're nowhere near the complete article.
I know.
Like,
I've had 25 fights and I've been doing it since I was like 11.
Yeah.
If you've had 24 and 20
24
months.
and 20 months. I was one of the most active in the club, but
Probably
I was just ready to fight. Yeah, just you fighting next week, no problem. Like you just go.
That's definitely the way to be. I think you're seeing the amateurs now. Like not many people want to fight all the time. Where that's where you get your most experience.
Exactly.
Just getting up and getting at it. Especially, did you come into boxing quite later on in your life?
Yeah, I was only started in. I had my first fight in 2018. And then obviously it was the gap with COVID that hit. That was the issue. Otherwise, I would have stayed amateur a little bit longer. I was a day away from winning for the national championships, and then we went into national lockdown. So it was a bit of a sickener because I would have then ended on a high, hopefully, and then turned over after maybe another season. But I mean, we were in lockdown on and off for like what, nearly 2 years. Something, it was crazy. So it was like I got offered a contract and I was just like, what am I waiting for? I'm not getting any younger. Like I didn't start when I was young like you. So if I'm gonna give it a shot, it's now. Especially with female boxing being on the rise. So I just thought let's give it a go. Like I've still got a lot to learn. I'm not the finished article. I'm not perfect, but I just think like I've lost now. I'm not scared. And I'm not fearful of losing that nil because I've already lost it.
Yeah.
Like if I get in against some of the best girls and I lose, like what's the worst that can happen? I've tried. Like it just you brush yourself off and you go again. But it's just gives us that like fight and desire to know what I need to do to be at the top of the game. So yeah, we're ready.
Yeah. So do you have anything lined up or times you'd like to be out? Because I know you're saying you're going to take the opportunities when they come.
Yeah. We're hoping the end of July, so maybe it's the last 2 weeks in July if we can get something locked in. I'm just waiting on some news, and then it'll be the end of the year. That's when we'll push for a title shot. So yeah, step up this next one, 8 rounds, and then straight in for a 10-rounder.
Yeah. Well, with the rounds in female boxing, what do you? Because there's a lot of people campaigning to do 12 3-minute rounds rather than what they do now, which is 10 twos. So what do you think about all that?
I'd prefer to do 3s. Like a lot of what we do in the gym is 3s because with the lads as well. Apart from when we're sparring, like if it's specific sparring, like with just the females, we do 2 minutes, so it's specific for what we fight. But I prefer the 3s because it suits my style better because I'm naturally a back foot counter puncher. So it's about taking your time a bit more rather than you see a lot of the girls now. A lot of the fights are still like amateur fights, in and out, throwing 5s and 6s and 7s, and like whereas the lads like they'll take the time with the 3-minute rounds. They're looking for that one shot that can change the fight. So I think if we had 3s, we probably would see a lot more stoppages with females because you're gonna plant your feet more and wanna hurt someone rather than throwing 5s and 6s. Because it might look good for everyone at home that's busy, but it's professional boxing, not amateur boxing. So it's just maybe the transition over would be a little bit easier, I would say, because like for me, I went from fighting 3-3s to then going back down to 2, so it was like you're going back down. Do you know what I mean? You've got to adapt again. So yeah, personally, I would prefer 3-minute rounds. Yeah,
well, because with the 10-2s, I think that's why a lot of the female boxing fights are really exciting because it's at such a high pace. Whereas I think it becomes a lot similar to the men's when you're bringing the 3-minute round. I remember Katie Taylor because Serrano was pushing for their fight. We moved to 3 minutes, and Taylor didn't like the idea, but I get it because I feel like Katie Taylor's someone who her style is suited to 10 2-minute rounds.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still a very much amateur
female
kind
fights
of
are really
style.
exciting. It is probably down to the 2-minute rounds. I think one of the main problems is the scoring though. I think so much action happens in so little time.
It's hard to score.
Especially over 10 rounds as well. That's why you see a lot of draws and a lot of close decisions in the
That's why I feel it is similar to like a lot of the fights. Like it's exciting, everyone's on their seats a little bit, but then it is a lot of fights are so close because of it, because they're just letting the hands go like amateur style, but just in the pros. So you don't see as much like movement and skill as much, I would say, with a lot of fights that I've seen. It is more just like head down, throw your shots in and out with your feet kind of style. Whereas like with the lads, you see a bit more movements, a bit more slick skill, slip, bang. Do you know what I mean? So
and that's obviously more suited.
That's
to your
more
style,
my
isn't
style.
It?
That's what I like to do. So for this next fight, I've got to just especially with going up the rounds as well. So yeah, just let your hands go a bit.
Yeah.
Bring in the 3-minute rounds, please.
So is it lightweight that you'd be like boxing for looking for title fights at?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I could do 140. But it is the lightweight where I'd want to be at. I know Rhiannon Dixon's got the Commonwealth title. The European title's just been vacated. Had to be vacated by the girl that had it, and then now the British title is there, which nobody's fighting for yet. So that's potentially 3 titles on the line straight away.
Yeah.
If we can get a fight sorted, agreed, locked, let's go.
You could go down in history as well as the first female from the northeast to win the British
To
title.
do it, exactly. That's what I want.
Add it as well.
Yeah.
A bit more incentive.
Bit more spice, yeah.
It's history, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And I've got nothing to lose. So say for example we did get this fight on with Dixon. Like I've got nothing to lose. I'm the challenger. She's the one with the belt. So like I've got everything to gain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting times. We'll see what can come the rest of this year.
Well, that's the thing. As gutting as a loss can be, it can also be a positive in so many ways because people are now view you as like someone they want to fight. Like you don't have to beat right, or you're not like don't look as scary.
Yeah.
Such on paper.
100%.
And also like you say, you've took that loss. You've got nothing to lose now. Like it makes you dangerous. I think.
I know what it feels like, and I never want to put myself in that position again. So for me, it's just all systems go now.
I think you'll get a lot more opportunities as well because people think, oh yeah, we'll pick her.
Well, and you can catch people by surprise.
Well, yeah,
people
exactly.
overlook you sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
It happens so many times.
They'll be in there and they'll be like, I wasn't expecting this. This is what they had in their head.
People will overlook us 100%, and to be honest, I was already offered the fight. I'll be honest and say, because I haven't said that publicly yet.
Exclusive.
There we go. So originally it was going to be on the Wood Lara card, and then it got pushed back to July. No problem. Then it's off the cards now because apparently Dixon and Thunders could be fighting for the European. So it's kind of just wait in line, see when my shot is. But I'd already got offered it and I accepted it. So wait and see. Just need
is that an official call out there?
Now listen, I want the title. That's whoever's got it. That's who I'm coming for. So there's no messing about.
What would happen if Dixon fought for the European and won it? Do you think she'd vacate, or would she still have the Commonwealth?
No, so if she'd still have the Commonwealth, so then I could be challenging her for the Commonwealth and the European, and put the British in the mix.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? So it's 3 titles on the line, not just 1. 3 for the price of 1. Let's go, baby. But yeah, I've got nothing to lose, and I think that fight will be good. Like she's got a similar background, being in boxing the similar time as me. She's unbeaten though. She's been good. Had a good career so far. Same with Matchroom now, so it's a good step up for me, good opportunity for me, and I think it would be a good fight. So hopefully we can get it sorted at the end of the year.
Having all the belts on the line as well, it'll get it on a big show as well. Like being on the undercard of Wood Lara would have been
unreal.
Class,
yeah. And then obviously it was meant to be pushed back to July, but then that one's fell through. So we'll just wait. Look, I accepted. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Just see what we can get this year.
It's great. I feel myself smiling because I can see how excited you are.
Yeah,
talking about it. Do you know what I mean?
It's just obviously from their side whether they if we can get it
Do they
officially
want the smoke?
done.
Yeah.
Do they want the smoke? Let's go. But yeah, fiery. Let's go.
Do you feel as though, say, coming out of SAS, that your profile might have risen a little bit and it's maybe helped put eyes on your boxing career more? Obviously, people, well, it's now national television in SAS, and like people hear your story and where you've come from, what you want to achieve. Do you reckon that's put a lot more eyes on you? Do you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely boosted things slightly. I think the biggest thing for me though is me TikTok. I don't know if you've watched me TikToks,
I
but
haven't seen it.
even still to this day, I'll be in the shop and I'll get recognised for me TikTok, not me boxing.
Really?
Like, oh, you're that girl off TikTok that does the funny videos. I'm like, that's the one. I'm like, when am I gonna get recognised for me boxing? But nah.
What do you do on the TikTok? Like, is it
Just
boxing
like loads
really,
of
or
rad,
daft stuff?
just daft stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, rinse Amy. Just take the total piss. To be honest, it was one of our videos that went viral. It was the one where we announced our pregnancy, and from there it's just like rose.
Yeah.
So I just do like loads of ring doorbell ones, like calling out like when Amy's coming in, like you've took a shit in the toilet. Like, that's everyone can hear. Like just rad ones like that. But so it's definitely been boosted. And then yesterday morning I woke up with a blue tick on Instagram, so I was like,
yeah.
oh wow, I got a nice little surprise there. Just need to get the TikTok verified now.
Well, that TikTok's mad.
We need to get on the TikTok.
Well, the views you get on it's crazy.
Crazy.
Like,
Honestly, crazy.
do you think it's really important for like all pro boxers to have social media accounts like and to be active as possible?
100%. I think that's how I've built my profile. I've done it on my own, and a lot of the building of my profile is a small amount of it's come from boxing, but the majority, if I would say, has come from TikTok. It's crazy as it is. And that I started that during lockdown, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
Just doing Raj videos when you're bored in the house is gonna go nowhere, and then it's just got bigger and bigger. And that's how people have seen us as well, and then giving us opportunities for paid work. So like I got a campaign recently for Lululemon. I say wow, and one for like go-karting. You're getting everything paid for, getting paid to do content. So just things like that. But TikTok's definitely the way forward, boys.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna have to get on.
Put the title like pro boxer and TikTok star.
Oh, nothing me. I'm getting excited there. Not me.
Not the money box.
And that.
Well, I was watching George Warren on a podcast, and he was on about how he manages fighters, and when he's trying to get them sponsors, the first thing a sponsor will say is how many followers have they got.
Yeah.
So that's how important it is for them now, isn't it?
I think people just don't want to put themselves out there, but you've got to, don't you?
Yeah.
In like any way as well. It's like no matter how you get the eyes on you, like say your TikTok, like it gets people
Exactly.
looking at you, doesn't it?
That's why I do it. Like obviously, a lot of people say try and do a video a day. It gets tough. Like obviously priorities, stuff like that. But so there is gaps for me. But as soon as I get back on it and I'm posting more regular, it's just going. It just increases straight away. The engagement's there. People can gift you, so you're getting like money for that as well, just off TikTok when you're doing a live video, stuff like that. It's raj. It's crazy. But yeah, like the more active you are, the more people know who you are and your name's out there. That's just social media now. It pushes everything.
Do you feel a little bit extra pressure, like that comes with that though? Or you're not really asked?
It's just time consuming. It takes up because obviously I do everything on my own. So trying to manage like obviously the Facebook account. I've got my business account for the fitness stuff, so that's separate. Then the Instagram, like obviously 2 Instagrams. Then it's Twitter, TikTok. Like it's like all of them. So it's crazy trying to manage it all and try and fit it in around my schedule. But you've just got to put time aside and do it because that's what helps boost things at the end of the day.
It's a big part of your career, especially like modern day as it is now.
Because when you're not fighting, you don't get paid. So you've got to find an income, whether it's via sponsorship or whether it's via doing paid campaigns and videos. See, I mean, you get paid for just putting an Instagram story on and promoting something. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's the way forward now. And I'm not at a stage in my career where I'm getting paid for fights. I've got to find a way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I saw a thing on. Were you doing like a SAS style training thing on the beach?
Yes.
For people. I just looked at it, I thought that's a great idea.
Yeah. Sign up, boys. Next one, 17th of June. Let's go.
Might have to.
I know, you should.
The sun's in the rising sun near me, so it's wood vibes, muddy, but it'll be good.
Well, there's loads of people who oh god, I'm not sure about it now.
Never mind.
There's loads of people who watch it and they'll go, oh, I like you. They'd love to try it, but obviously it's just a day, so like, and obviously you've actually been on the show as well. So I just looked at it and I thought, that's a great idea.
It was so good. I just thought of it on the back of like doing, like being on SAS, just give like a little bit of like a structural thing back, and it's only 4
Yeah.
hours, but I did it sort of set like 4 phases, similar to what you do in the jungle, but it's just not as intense. So there was like a beasting phase. There was a phase based on like trust, so you were partnered up. There was another bit where you had like it was 2 teams, and you had to. I got all the army style equipment, the jerry cans, the sandbags. I had to put like a chair in as like an awkward item, and then they had to do like a certain route, and it was whichever team finished first. The losing team had a forfeit, so everyone had to go in the ice bath for 30 seconds. Like it was really good, so much fun, and like the best of it was a lot of people that signed up I didn't even know. It was just off social media, so like everyone was a bit nervous at first, and then by the end of it, everyone's like best pals. So it was like it was good to just wait, like have a bit of fun, push yourself, and like meet new people. So yeah, next one 17th June if anyone wants to sign up.
Yeah.
Well, that does sound
Let's
really
go.
good. It's a great idea. Like if I didn't know you and come across that idea, I'd be like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to do a bit of that. Like I think most people would.
It's good
So
crap.
are you like the acting DS, like
Basically, yeah.
everyone gypped?
Oh,
The
100%.
roles have switched.
Oh, love it.
Before that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I was like, all you now, you motherfuckers know me as staff. I'm like, yes, staff!
Do you give them the bands as well? Like the
Everyone
hand-
got a number.
Really?
Yeah. So it was on the t-shirt rather than the actual band, but everyone got assigned their own number. So everyone was referred to as the number, not the name. So it had like the full kind of experience, a little bit of the experience anyway. But yeah, same for the next one. Everyone got assigned a number, and boom. This one's got a little bit of a twist though. So everyone knows where the location is. The start time's 10 a.m, the same as the last one. But 30 minutes prior, so at 9:30, because I've got a WhatsApp group set up with everyone in, I'm going to pin drop my exact location in the woods, and they've got to get to me within 30 minutes. Whoever doesn't get there within 30 minutes, well, we'll see. So, like, just a little bit more of an excitement, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's class.
But yeah, just a bit of fun.
Well, it makes people feel like they're actually on the show as
Yeah.
well, doesn't it?
So, yeah, it's good. Good crack.
Well, we won't be going.
Come on, lads.
We'll think about it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sound.
Would
So,
you?
trained by Nick Gitters.
Yes.
Have you been trained by him since turning pro?
Yeah.
For your full pro career?
Yeah, full pro career, only under the one man.
You've been finding it under Nick and all the lads there?
Crazy. I mean, because there was that gap when we went into lockdown as well. Like, so there was our gym wouldn't. You obviously couldn't open the gyms. I was training myself doing runs, probably like use 24/7. So my knees were fucked.
To be honest.
I was doing like 8 miles. and
Yeah,
stuff. I never ran
crazy,
that far.
yeah.
You told me you had 2 yum-yums every day.
Oh, I
That's
think I
what
thought
you
you did.
told me.
Yeah.
I just sat me ass and played on my Xbox. Like, I loved it, to be honest. I like being a dosser
It
for
was
a
just
year.
constant running. I did my first half marathon as well during
Did you?
that period, so it was good crack. But yeah, so I felt like when I then turned over and came under Dick, I was like Bambi on ice. Like I felt like I lost everything because I hadn't sparred in like ages, hadn't punched properly in ages apart from a bag. Like you know yourself, it's not the same when you're sparring on the pads to hitting a bag. So I felt like I'd started from scratch again. But within the space of a couple of months, he had us flying back to where kind of I needed to be, and it's mad looking back at the videos when I first started with Nick and now, because there's like so much of improvement. And he is a really good coach. Like he knows what he's doing. He's got an eye for everything. So it's that tiny movement of the hip or the shoulder just to get that full extension, or just them little fine details that he sees that I wouldn't pick up on. So yeah, it's good. It's good crack.
Well, I see on Instagram a lot of the training videos, it's always constant like repetitions of punches and movements. Is that something you do a lot in training?
Yeah, so like there'll be certain sessions where it'll be like more technical. You're drilling something for like a full period, footwork, whether it's your hand position, your foot position. Then there'll be like days where you'll be sparring. Fridays are fitness Fridays, so that's a pure fucking absolute. Sorry for the swear word, guys. Just an absolute beasting. Got that tomorrow. I actually like them, though, to be fair. I like getting beasted. So yeah, it's like total varied sessions.
Yeah. And what's it like? Because obviously there's a few pros at that gym at the minute, isn't there? Who was there?
There's
Lawsy there?
yes, so Joe's there. Kerry's the other female. Lawrence is coming back at the minute. Who else? So we got Declan. Who else? I'm scared I missed someone. There's a couple of the other lads that are trying to get the license and that at the minute, so we've got like a good little squad going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And do you prefer that, like training with other pros in a big group rather than like
100%.
one-on-one, like you're on your own?
Yeah, 100%. Because you push each other. Like I always say, success breeds success. You've got like a successful team around you, like you bounce off that. rather than just being on your own. Like you've got to deal with yourself. So yeah, I love training with a squad.
Who's the class clown in the gym? Is it Lawsy? Or is there any dark horses in the gym?
Lawsy makes a lot of noise. I'll give him that. Even when it's just a shadow man. Oh! I'm like, Joe, I hate to hear what your sex noises are. But it's just good crack. Everyone bounces off each other. Like I'm a little bit of the joker. I'll give as good as I get, but I think you've got to have a little bit of a laugh as well, aren't you? Like ripping each other.
I can't wait to get on the TikTok after this. I'll be looking at
here we go. I know. It's mad because like the one that I did on the door cam, the ring doorbell, sorry, the other day is when I was saying, oh Amy, you've left a shit in the toilet. So we're walking in B&M, this is only last week, and a girl's coming down the aisle and starts shouting that out rather than like, oh hi girls, like I was saying, just start shouting, oh you took a shit, and I was like, here's the videos of that class. I was like, oh my god, I'm mortified. Of all the videos, you had to pick out the shit one.
Does Amy do it with you as well, or does she?
Yeah,
like,
she's got me a few times as well.
okay.
Yeah, so she's got hers, but I put a lot of the Raj ones like that on mine. But yeah, it's good crack. You have to have a look.
No, we are. That's what I'm doing as soon as we finish.
We'll start doing someone new. Like I don't think you're really the prankster type. Like you're more the one to get.
The one to get.
You're
Yeah,
the victim.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. I remember they did it before the Joshua Ruiz rematch, and it was going in the last round, and I was like talking about it for weeks, and I was like desperate for Joshua to win. And I mean, mates round, and they're all bored because like, they weren't really interested in it. So they switched the telly off and hid the remote for the last round, and I'm going off it. I remember like kicking at our Tommy and like rummaging around looking for the remote.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, honestly, if he gets knocked
Well,
out or something, and I
you
miss
don't
it.
take it as a joke. You get annoyed, like, which
Well,
is a funny bit.
I try to, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I don't think this TikTok sounds like a good idea now. If I'm gonna start getting pranked all
No,
the
it is
time.
honestly, it's good crack, and then like you'll see what the trends are, so you can like follow that like with different sounds. It's mad, like, but that can like push your video to get you more like views and stuff depending on what's trending.
Yeah.
So it's good. Look into it, get it. But yeah.
Yeah, well, great. I think we'll probably leave it there because I know you need to get away. But thanks
Sound.
for coming on.
No
I
problem.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Great to have you.
Thank you for having us.